Hello everyone, this is Venom, and we are just a few days away from the release of Shattered Space, the first and maybe the only DLC that'll be released for Starfield. We'll see how that goes. I am hoping more come out. I'm hoping that Shattered Space revitalizes the game. I'm hoping Bungie pours a bit more time into it. Maybe they can clean this up and make it into a game that's really worth I say worth something. I still enjoy Starfield. Don't get me wrong. I still enjoy it. I like playing it. I'm playing it again right now, as many people are in anticipation of Shattered Space. But let's be frank. It was a big miss. We've gone over this quite a bit on the channel. I'm not going to harp on it too much. But my point is that I am playing Starfield again right now. Many people are waiting for Shattered Space. I'm excited about it. We get to hear about, or not hear about. We get to actually go and play with the Varun. We get to check out that faction, the secret faction. We could not really do much with in the base game, and I'm excited about it. But as I'm playing through Starfield, I realized I kind of had a feeling while I was playing through it. And this isn't going to be like a really crazy video, like a deep dive on anything, but this is a bit of a concern I have, and this is kind of a missed opportunity I felt on Bethesda's part. As I was going through playing, and I was doing the UC storyline, I realized, and there are going to be some spoilers in here if you haven't played Starfield, so this is your spoiler alert. But as I'm doing this UC storyline again for like the third time, because I'm on my final playthrough, I've got all my powers maxed out, so now this playthrough I'm actually going through and, I chose the universe I wanted to. I admit I console commanded my way to it. I wanted the universe that had your doppelganger in it, but as I'm doing the UC storyline for the final time, I realize I'm getting the same feeling playing the UC storyline and playing a lot of Starfield that I used to play, or that I used to get playing the game Outward. Now, for those who don't know, Outward is an RPG. It's a very, very good one. I suggest you check it out if you're into RPGs and if you're into survival games, and especially Souls-like games. Outward's probably going to be the game for you. It is a RPG. You don't level up or anything, but your skills are based off of the skills you buy and your weapons and your actual skill. It does have actual survival mechanics. You do have to eat and sleep. I mean, there are actual camping mechanics. You do have to survive. You can die in on certain settings. And if you on normal mode, even if you die, you'll survive, but you'll oftentimes have some of your random or your items missing or some of your gold missing. So it's a really fun game. It's a really fun game. It's got an interesting and I say deep background, but that's kind of the problem that I'm having with that game and Starfield, is that there is a background we don't really get to see in the game. You see, Outward, they had a war a long time ago. It takes place in Arai, and they had apparently a lot of creatures called the Scourge erupted from a mountain. A lot of the backstory is kind of fuzzy. They don't explain a lot of it in game unless you do a lot of deep diving. But long story short, there was a massive war like a century ago. Okay, that's the whole point of this. There's this massive war a century ago, and as you're going through the world, you can actually see the bodies and piles of bodies of the Scourge, oftentimes with weapons still sticking out of them all across the land. Now, you can't interact with them. You can still see some Scourge around. There are still Scourge that pop up, but the war is pretty much over. Now, I got that feeling playing Outward that, man, it kind of sucks we didn't get to see that. I mean, there's all this lore around us, but we can't interact with it. We can't do anything with it. It feels like you're coming in at the tail end of a big story, but you don't get to see the main story. You kind of come in at the tail. The game is fun, but it feels like there's a lot of story missing from it because we don't get to see that background stuff. We don't get to see the most interesting time of that area. It's a fun story, but you're kind of teased with what could have been, and that's kind of what I'm feeling with Starfield a little bit here. The war with the UC and with the Free Colony or Free Star Collective, there was a huge war with mechs and with terramorphs that really would have been the perfect time to put Starfield in. I mean, that would have been awesome. One thing that I realized, I was going through the UC storyline, and I just got to the Londinian, and I realized this right here, this setting right here, could have been an entire game of itself. Now, again, I've already said my spoiler alert, but if you've done the UC storyline, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, near the end of the storyline, they actually, explain, and they explain when you start the UC questline. Londinian was this site of a massive terramorph attack that basically had to quarantine the planet, at a bomb spaceport so that they didn't get offload. But yeah, I mean, you actually, it's crazy. It's like you go down to the world, and you got to go through airlocks to even get to Londinian, and there's tons of guards everywhere. It feels like you're stepping into what's going to be a huge area, this whole, new game, and it's not. You're only there for a little bit, but that could have been like the the setting of a game, you going into Londinium to get these samples you need, that could have made its own video game or an entire storyline by itself. Now, unfortunately, you're only there for like half an hour. It's not that big a deal. But again, you get this feeling that there's this huge overarching story that took place or that could take place that it's just out of reach and we're never going to get to play. And unfortunately, that's what a lot of this UC questline, a lot of Starfield does feel like. It feels like this huge thing happened, but unfortunately, we don't get to see any of it or play with any of it because it's already happened. And for some reason, Bethesda didn't program it in. I mean, I thought one of the first things they would do and they would add in would be, like maybe add in mechs that we could actually ride around in, or maybe add in you could get some Terramorph pets somehow. Well, they might do a thing to where you had to choose one or the other. You can get a mech or you can get like a Terramorph, and each one you could ride on, and they could do different things or stuff like that. Classic Bethesda RPG stuff where you have to choose one or the other, and they both give you, different things depending on what it is you choose. Or maybe there was a DLC to where, hey, you can go ahead and build your mechs or bring it back to Mech Combat, or the UC and the Freestar Collective, or they're going at it again, or something crazy like that, and we just don't get that. Now, we are getting the DLC involving the Rune, and I don't think we're going to get anything that groundbreaking there either. I think story-wise, yeah, but I don't think it's gonna open up any of those old storylines that we just didn't get in Starfield. And the concern I have is that I don't want to go into this and see all this crazy back history of the room, and again, not be able to interact with any of it. I don't want to go in and hear about all these crazy wars and go in and see a whole bunch of like bodies littered around and these giant mechs and stuff and realize you don't get to play any of that stuff. And it really sucks in Starfield because oftentimes they send you to places where there are literal mech graveyards with all these crazy mechs, and I'm just sitting here thinking, wow, this would have been awesome to actually get to play. I mean, they could have easily made the setting for Starfield in the middle of that war. They really could have, and it could have been crazy. Instead, it's just the main story is just us going around collecting a bunch of artifacts, and I mean, really, again, I liked Starfield the first few times I played through it, and I'm playing through it right now again. So I mean, don't get me wrong, I like the game, but it really feels like Bethesda missed the mark on that one as far as what they could have. Like, I don't like it when games tease a story, tease a background, like, hey, all this cool stuff happened, way long ago, but you don't care about any of that. Here, you go deliver these milk and cookies over to Mrs. Butterworth down the hallway or something like that. You get this bitch quest. Forget all the awesome shit that happened around you. Forget all the cool shit. You're coming right after. And I think somebody else at some point mentioned something like this too. I'm trying to think of the way they described it, and I think it's when we were talking about Outward, and they were like, it constantly feels like you just missed the story. Like, the story happened right before you got there. Like, there was a big fight, there was all this cool stuff, and it feels like you just missed it right before you got to that era. That's what it feels like playing Outward, and that's the feeling I'm getting when I'm playing Starfield. So hopefully we don't got to deal with that with Shattered Space. Hopefully it's really fun. Like I said, I cannot wait to play it. I think the beta is out and people have been testing it a little bit. I said, I've been out of the loop just because I've been taking care of the family, and family stuff has happened. I've been not getting too much sleep. I'm taking care of my wife and my kids because she just got out of surgery. Everything's fine, nothing too crazy, but just life stuff has happened. So, yeah, I'm really out of the loop on a lot of things. I still haven't finished up my playthrough of, and I know you guys are going to kill me about this, but I have not finished up my playthrough of Shadow of the Erdtree yet. I think I just killed Rolana, I killed Rolana. And I got past Hippo era, so yeah, I'm still working my way through there. I hadn't even started doing Grandmasters of Destiny 2 yet. I haven't done any of my seasonal stuff. I've done some of the seasonal stuff, but I haven't gotten like any of the seasonal titles. Like, I'm really behind on a lot of stuff, so I got to try to catch up on it. And I haven't made a build video in a while. I am really behind, but it's all life stuff. It's not till I've left the channel. I am just trying to take care of life stuff. So as I can bring you guys information, I will. I will be playing through Shattered Space. Now, hopefully, man, this is a hope that I will be able to get back on every other night and start recording again. Now, I'm hoping I can do that. Really, I'm just waiting for my wife to be able to recover enough to actually watch our son at night. Right now, obviously, after surgery, you can't pick up so much, so, she can't pick up her kids, which is fine, but she also can't sleep certain ways, so she hadn't been able to, like, get up and feed my son, which, obviously, we take turns doing that. It's not like she does it herself or anything, but I've been doing that basically every night, and my son's still at the age where he is waking up every hour and a half to 2 hours to be fed, so, yeah, very little sleep. She's going to try to do that, and if she can, we can go back to every other night here soon. I can get some more recording done, but obviously the family stuff is going to take precedence before anything else. So that's what's going on. I'm still here. I'm still got tons of video ideas. I just got to get them out. A lot of times it sucks. A lot of times I'll have a video idea in my head and I go over it over and over and over again. And then I've gone over it so much, by the time I'm ready to record a video, I'm just like, I got so many more videos I want to do now. I don't even know how to go about doing this one or putting in the time for it. It's very frustrating sometimes, but if I can ever get to the point to where I have an editor, this will be a lot easier too, because I can just go ahead and record what I need to, give it to my editor, and then they can knock it out. I get a lot more videos out if I had a professional editor or just somebody who could edit for me. My wife was trying to do it at one point, but obviously we've got kids now, so it's really hard for her to do that. I'm not going to make her use up her free time when she does have it to edit videos for me. That's my thing to do. So that's where we're at right now. Like I said, that's just random thoughts I had as I'm playing through Starfield. I am playing through it right now. I'm going to put out a list of the mods I'm currently using, and we're going to try to start up our mod spotlights again as well. I foresee a lot more mods coming out now that the Varun are coming out. A lot have been coming out, you know, Star Wars-wise and Star Trek-wise. So there's a lot of mods out there. There are some people who are still covering it, and hey, hats off to you. I had to stop covering it just because I literally forgot about the game for a while. That's how bad it was. So I hope to get back in there here soon. So yeah, that's where we're at with it right now. I cannot wait to play Shattered Space. I really can't wait to play it. I've been doing all sorts of Varun research and stuff. I am ready for it. I know it's not gonna be like a 40-hour DLC or something. It's gonna be, you know, probably fairly quick, you know, 5-6 hours or something, even if that. But I can't wait to play it. And I can't wait to see what kind of Starborn options are if you do like a new Game Plus on it. So, that being said, thank you all for coming by. Please leave a like on the video if you like what it is we are doing. Please subscribe to the channel if you love what we're doing, and I will see you all on the next video.